The ending to John Cena's illustrious career at Saturday night's main event was one of the worst send-offs we've seen in wrestling. It wasn't the fact that John Cena lost. A lot of us even knew he was losing. And they did telegraph the tap out due to the promos that Gunther has been telling over the past few weeks and the fact that they've been saying that John Cena has never tapped out in the past 20 years. That is not the issue. The disrespect and the lack of thought process throughout the whole retirement tour of John Cena was nothing short of a disgrace. Triple H, WWE and TKO should be absolutely embarrassed for what they delivered for the greatest of all time. Not only did the fans deserve better, but we are the least important part in this scenario. John Cena himself deserved 100 times better than what we got. John Cena gave us notice 15 months before he was retiring, last year at Money in the Bank announcing his retirement. The WWE and Triple H as a head of creative had over a year to think about what to do with John and send him off the right way. And they gave us this. Now, it is a given that we don't know what happened behind the scenes and things didn't plan out the way they probably should have. You can also point to examples like the Elimination Chamber turning John Cena heel and The Rock and Travis Scott's involvement. But nonetheless, the way they've treated John Cena's retirement has been an absolute disaster. Let's look at the Last Time Is Now tournament as an example. John Cena kept saying that it was about elevating younger talent and passing it on to the next generation. Yet, almost everyone in the tournament was over 40 years old, had been veterans of the industries, past champions, and the eventual winner is a guy that's already over and a multiple-time world champion. So not only does none of this make sense, you're telling me after one whole year of planning in advance that this is all that they could come up with? Not only that, at the culmination of his career as Saturday night's main event, yes, the focus was on the younger talent and the matches, for the most part, were very, very good. But the night should be all about John. When it came to his match and his entrance, he just came out, had the match, they had a little video at the end, and that was it. Compare this to how AEW treated Sting's career and his retirement match. Before Sting came out and before the match, they hyped it to the next level. A massive vignette, a massive introduction, and a massive entrance. This all led to a great match and a great ending. Not only did Sting give a speech at the end, fireworks, pyro, and everything in between. It was a perfect send-off. Compare that to John Cena, who's been a servant to the company for over 20 years and held the company on his back for over a decade, and this is what he gets? The fans at the end had every right to boo Triple H and WWE at the end of the night. It was a bad look for John Cena, and it was, quite frankly, pretty embarrassing. The crowd was booing and visibly upset. John didn't deserve to go out with boos. Now, we all know the boos weren't for him, they were aimed at Triple H. But the visual and the last scene of John Cena being booed at his final match and his send-off, that's not what he deserves. And there's only one person to blame in this whole situation, and that is Triple H. The egotistical pig that always tries to make it about himself, and he couldn't even put his ego aside and give John Cena the send-off that he deserves. WWE, TKO, and Triple H, you should be ashamed of yourself.